All right. Well, it looks like we are ready to get started. I am Kevin Weitzel of Outhouse, and I met with Sarah during the Home Builder Digital Marketing Podcast, and we jokingly said, because she formerly worked at a winery, a vineyard, that we should do a wine webinar. So we're going to do one. We're going to pair it with floor plans. And Greg is my normal co-host on the podcast. However, he doesn't drink. I do. So I got his right-hand gal there, Mila.
Hi, I'm Mila Sorensen with Blue Tangerine.
Boom. So today we're going to talk about floor plans and just a little bit about whether, how we're utilizing our floor plans, if we're still considering entertainment areas as an important aspect of our design, and also how we're looking at, the work from home, the study from home, has that impacted, how we're looking at our floor plans as comparatively speaking to being able to party. So what we want you to do is we want you to get comfortable. We want you to be prepared to have a good time. If you have your drink of choice, I know I'm drinking mine. I'm a Chardonnay guy, but I'm more Sauvignon Blanc today. Mila, what are you drinking today?
I've got a whole cluster Pinot Noir.
Oh. So we'll just do a quick introduction, and then we'll just get a little bit of information from each one of our panelists. First off, we have Ingrid Prince of Century Complete. And in addition to that, we have Maurie Jones of Wayne Homes and Sarah Titus of Eastbrook Homes. So, Ingrid, could you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Century Complete?
Yes. Hey, everyone. Nice to see everybody here today. So I'm Ingrid Prince, and I'm the regional sales manager for Century Complete for the Texas region. So we actually build in Houston, College Station, and Dallas, Fort Worth. We're continuing to grow. So right now in our Houston region, we're building about 250 homes a year, looking to expand to about 700 homes next year. My favorite type of wine, gosh, I feel like it depends on the season. So during the summer season, I'm a Chardonnay girl. And then in the winter, I definitely like, I like a good Zin or a Cabernet. And I would say that my favorite place to drink, I love my backyard. So we have a fire pit going out there. So, and really it's all seasons that I love to sit out there, but in particular during the fall when it's nice and crisp, you get the fire going, perfect place to sip wine.
And in Texas, you can drink year round, right?
In
your backyard,
Yes.
Because I know that's not the case in Ohio and Michigan. All right. Maurie, please tell us a little bit about Wayne Homes.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks for coming, everybody. This is great. Great topic we have here. I'm with Wayne Homes, which is out of Ohio, and we build in 5 states, the 4 states that surround Ohio: Michigan, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. And we build about 600 homes a year, and we are an on your lot builder of semi-custom homes. And my favorite wine is back behind me. It is a Sancerre, which is a French white wine. And my favorite places to drink are in the summer. I have 2 because it's winter. We have seasons. So in the summer, it's on the patio, and in the winter, it's by the fire.
Oh, fireside wine.
Yeah.
I can get hammered by the fireplace. Hammered, I say. Sarah.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Glad to have you here. I'm Sarah Titus. I'm the marketing manager for Eastbrook Homes. We build about 500 homes a year. We're in West Michigan and Central Michigan. We build all types of homes. So we've got condos, single family, move up, executive homes, and townhomes. So a little bit of everything over here in West Michigan. My favorite kind of wine varies with the season also, but I also kind of just like all wine. Working in a winery will do that to you. You have to learn to appreciate all the wines for what they are. So in the summer, I definitely lean more towards whites. I will choose a Sauvignon Blanc if I have an open option. And then for reds, I'm usually a Malbec girl. So, and then there you go. Okay. And then in the summertime, I also like to drink in my backyard. We have a dog, so nice fenced in backyard, share a drink with her out there. And then sitting inside, we also sit by our fireplace in our living room. So yeah.
So, being that you do have probably the most refined palate, and that you've worked at both at a vineyard and winery, seasonal wines. So, being that you guys do have seasons, you really do have a whole breakdown of when you should have one versus the other. So, is it? What about pairing with food? Are you supposed to have like a white or a red, or is it taboo to eat red with fish? Drink red with fish.
It depends on the wine, really. And I'm not really a big believer in taboos anyway. So I think you can drink a red in the summer and you can drink a white in the winter. You can drink a red with your fish. It just might not bring out all the same flavors. So the idea of pairing a wine with your food is that you're going to be able to appreciate both the food flavors and the wine flavors so much more. So that's actually how I got into red wine. I'll be honest, before I worked there, I drank White Zinfandel out of a box. So you can come a long way in your wine palate. So really, my boss sent me home with a bottle of what was our red blend called Du Rossi, and it was a blend of 2 French grapes. And he said, go home, make a steak, just salt and pepper on the grill, and take a bite of steak, take a sip of wine, take a bite of steak, take a sip of wine. And so like for every week, he'd give me some new homework of a bottle of wine and a thing to make with it. And it really did teach me how to understand the differences in wine. So I do very strongly recommend eating food with wine, and asking for recommendations from a professional helps, because then they're going to know what is going to be best with that wine to help you understand those flavors.
I didn't think I got that rule right. I've always been doing it a glass of wine and a bite of steak, a glass of wine and a bite of steak. No wonder I keep getting hammered.
No wonder, Kevin. Yeah, you're supposed to balance it out a little bit more than that.
Supposed to, right?
Yeah.
So we do have a little tiny bit of housekeeping today. Number one, we are going to have a little questionnaire, a couple little fun A, B options when we pit Kevin up against Mila for who did it best floor plans. So you may want to just hover over the top of your Zoom meeting and you can exit full screen, and that way you'll be able to see all the content. Number two, we are giving away some door prizes. So have your typing fingers handy, because all the door prizes will be awarded in the chat. We are not using question and answer. We're not using the question and answer. If you do have an actual question, which being that today's subject matter is just fun and having a good time, but if you do have a legit question, put it in the chat. We'll be monitoring that as well. And then last but not least, stick around to the very end, because the very end is when we're doing our door prizes. All right. So I guess we should probably get into some of the questions, just just a little bit about what's going on with changing of plans.
Yeah. I have a question, actually. With all of the things that have happened over the last year and a half with the need for more flexible workspaces, how have your floor plans changed to adapt, like doing more built-in furniture or nooks or more office spaces? What are you seeing with your buyers and what they're looking for? Maybe Maurie, can you go first?
Yeah. We have found that they're looking at our plans totally differently than they used to. So working with our product development team, we're trying not to label and pigeonhole a room, so that if we might call it a den, but that might be the homeschooling room, that the loft might be an office. So we're trying not to label, and the salespeople are, doing a really good interview with the prospect to find out what they're looking for, and then they can tailor the model they're walking through with how that would fit. So it's trying to keep it much more open instead of defined: dining room, living room, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. How about you, Sarah?
Yeah, we're seeing the same kind of thing. We typically call ours a flex room. So a lot of our homes had a flex room. And a lot of times that would, used to be a dining room. It would be the formal dining room. Now, then it kind of turned into more office, playroom, all sorts of things that people have turned that into. So we've been trying to kind of source from our customers and tell us what they're looking for, so we can kind of get some of that user generated content from them. And that's been really fun to see all the unique ideas people come up with their flex room spaces.
Speaking of flex, ooh, that bicep curl felt so good. So good. I'm getting the pump.
You needed that.
What about, are you finding that, how about to you, Ingrid? Are you finding that people are not necessarily concerned with entertaining anymore, and they're just looking at how can I buy a home that is just for working from home, or it has a work from home space, that it has an education? Have they abandoned the entertainment, or are they still considering that as well, those outdoor spaces, entertainment spaces?
No, I would say it's a combination of both. They want the efficiency and the maximization of every single inch of their home to be able to entertain, but also, possibly school their children, but also work from home. And, a lot of the buyers that we're seeing, both parents are working from home, or both, both adults. So it's important to maximize every single inch of the home now to be able to be efficient for how they're living.
And an at-large kind of follow-up to that, have any of you changed your customer-facing marketing to gear more toward that work from home, study from home type of environment?
We did a lot during the pandemic. We had a lot of different campaigns we were running about working from home or schooling from home, and really started looking at, with our new website, trying to find a way to explain how a floor plan is actually laid out, more than just X bedrooms and Y bathrooms, because we're really finding that we have base plans, and then you can customize them or personalize them from there. But saying 3 bedrooms, if somebody is really thinking, oh, I need an office and a playroom, okay, I need 5 bedrooms. Well, lots of our plans could technically have 5 bedrooms, or maybe it's 3 bedrooms, an office, and a playroom, or a loft. So trying to find new ways of communicating what a floor plan is actually offering them, other than just bedrooms, because they think of it as just, how many bedrooms do I need, and how do I use those bedrooms?
Exactly. It's about the livability. It's about the livability of the homes. Yep.
That deserves a toast.
Yes.
Everything's going to deserve a toast.
I hope I can actually do the door prizes by the time we're done with this, because I don't want to be hammered. What about tech? Are you guys incorporating tech into your homes? Smart lighting, smart switches, smart doorbells, more USB outlets.
Yeah, we partnered with Google actually to get some hubs in all of our houses, and doing the wireless garage doors, and looking at different other tech options. It is interesting. You have kind of different groups of people. Some people want everything tech and connected, and some people don't want everything tech and connected. If you think from a security perspective, not everyone wants all of those things. My husband's in information security, so he needed me to say that part. Not everything should be connected to the internet, but there are a lot of people who do. From an efficiency standpoint, you want everything to be connected. So it's finding those options. I think we're trying to be very option based. If you want this, we can do that. If you want something else, we can do that too.
And I know you guys mentioned a few of you are from colder weather states. So when it comes to outdoor entertaining, that space, at least here where I'm from in Minnesota, is really important in the summer. We want to live outside every minute that we can get. What are some of the popular features that you guys see people wanting? Like I really want like a pizza oven and a built-in grill. I mean, what are things people are really gravitating toward? Maurie, do you have any ideas there?
Well, since we're an on-your-lot builder, so they come to us with their land, and we get into the design of possibly their 2-story deck, their back stone patio, their covered porch. And then typically our customer, if it's the wood-fired built oven, they do those things separately, but they have it all in their mind, and they bring in their Pinterest boards, and they bring in all the stuff that they've grabbed from the internet of what they want that to look like, and we get the base done for them and set up for what they want. But yeah, it's all that stuff, because same as Minnesota, in states that we build in, we love when, as soon as it's spring, everyone puts their shorts on here. And people haven't, I think this might be the last weekend here that people will start wearing pants. Not that they're not wearing pants.
Hey,
there you go, Kevin. That's a toast.
There you go. That is a toast.
There's
not
a
wearing
toast.
pants.
They're wearing shorts, but now they will start wearing pants.
So a follow-up to that, being that you guys do on your lot builds, do you ever have any just crazy outlandish requests of what people want on their lots? Like, do they want like a 20-person sauna? I mean, I'm talking crazy stuff.
Yes, and specifically this year, when it's come to that, it's been like that. We're probably not your builder at this time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All
Just
right.
with, with product delays, and so that can be a bit of a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like your willingness to tell people that we might not be the right fit, because to say yes to everything, you wind up being me. I say
Right.
yes to literally everything. My stomach shows it. Would you like some more of that dessert? Absolutely, I would. Pile it right on top of the casserole. I'm golden. Sarah, what about you? Do you guys? I mean, because I know you guys are more of production, but do you have, and semi-custom production, I should say, not to insult you, what you guys do, but do you find that you're getting some silly requests of what people want to incorporate into their backyard zone?
Yeah, well, we're not very good at being one thing or another. So we are a semi-custom, semi-production. We try to say yes to a lot of things. We're not very good at saying no. But we try really hard, and we keep learning the same lesson Maurie just said, is sometimes we're not the right builder. But yeah, we've had some stuff that people have added. We actually, in a community that we have, it's a golf course community, and the restaurant installed the live golf. I don't know, never played it, but like live golf simulators in the restaurant. And then somebody wanted to put those in their house. So we actually like built a whole basement entertainment space with someone who wanted their own live golf simulator in their basement, because golf, you can't play it year round here. So you can play in your basement instead. So
now, Texas, Ingrid, you can play golf 24/7. They got nighttime golf, daytime golf, summer, winter, fall, spring, doesn't really matter, right?
That's right, exactly. But for us, we're first time home buyer attainable product. So really for our buyers, they just want their own private space, just a backyard, right? So a lot of our buyers, are first time home buyers. So they're coming from apartment complexes where they have shared space. So now moving into home ownership and purchasing their first home, really, they just want a private backyard. So being able to give that to them is huge.
Follow up to that, because now that I'm 50, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm 50 years old now. I don't want to take care of a yard anymore. So I bought a townhouse, and I'm absolutely ecstatically happy with living in a townhouse. I don't have to worry about anything. Do all of you just offer single family homes, or do any of you offer townhouses as well, or connected attached product?
We do attached condos and townhomes, and then we've actually started offering detached townhomes. So we get exactly what Ingrid mentioned. So a house, a private fenced in yard space, and a garage. And those are, I mean, brand new. We just launched them this year. So we've been trying to, get the explanation out there, the lifestyle, because it is both sides of that market. Exactly what Ingrid was saying, of people moving out of an apartment and they want their own space, but then also people who are like, I want the idea of a condo, but I don't want to live in a condo community. I still want vibrance and things happening around me, but I don't want to do my own lawn maintenance. So that like balance in between.
I have a follow-up to that, because a lot of new home building communities, they put into HOAs. So you've got an HOA that dictates what the design can be. Do the home buyers, and obviously it varies from neighborhood to neighborhood or community to community, but the home buyers have an ability to dictate whether they want to have an extended awning or a pergola or any of those kind of things in those attached properties? Is that a limitation or no?
So they have their own private yard space, and they can do whatever they want inside of that. Obviously, probably within reason. They probably can't put, I don't know, a structure in there. It's probably like a pergola. I know they can put pergolas in there, but you probably couldn't build like an entire another unit in there somehow. But you can do whatever you want inside of that space. The exterior outside of that is maintained by the HOA then. So you don't have to do your front yard. You don't have to mow. You don't have to care about those plants. But in that private area, you could do concrete, you could do stone hardscaping, you could do plants if you still really want your own vegetable garden or your own flower bed that you maintain, but maybe forget about July, because that's me. You could still have that, but you don't have to do the rest of it. So it's a nice in between that is very attractive option for people right now in that stage of life.
Sarah, I think you've sold Kevin on a detached
I know.
townhome.
I'm already on it. Yeah, I even toasted to it. I toasted without even announcing it. But toast that one, people. If you got it, what do they call it? If you it's a smoke them. If you got them, smoke them or something like that. I don't know. It's somebody used to hear the Marine Corps or my buddies in the Marine Corps say, if you smoke them if you got them or something like that. But drink it if you got it.
There you go. Come on to Michigan, Kevin.
That's it. That's it. Mila, what else do we have?
What else? So one of the other trends that I see around here, and maybe it's just my neighborhood, I don't know, but we oftentimes hang out outside in the garage, not necessarily on the patio, but for some reason we end up in someone's garage. I don't know if it's just easier because you don't have to worry about the house being clean. You're just in the garage, and they're incorporating things like putting greens or the big Jenga games, dartboards, all that kind of stuff, but in the garage space. And I also had one of my neighbors, they have a Hammerschlagen stump, which if you guys have seen that, it's like a wooden stump where you put nails in it, and everybody takes a turn hitting the nail in. And it's probably not a great game to play while you're drinking, but it is what we do.
I'm going to call bullcrap
super
on that.
fun.
It is an excellent game for drinking because people play that stand-up giant Jenga. That's last year. Nobody wants to play stand-up Jenga where they have to touch other people's wooden blocks. You
Right.
just hold your hammer and you get one chance to smash a nail in while drunk. Come on, that's just prime for fun.
Yes. But anyway, garage spaces are super popular around here and used so often. And again, being from a cold weather state, we've got lots of equipment out there to, snow blowers and snow tractors and all the lawn equipment to store in there, plus all the fun games. So is that a trend that you guys are seeing at all in your markets with your floor plans, Ingrid? You're saying yes?
Yeah, absolutely. And especially here in Texas, I mean, everything's bigger in Texas. Trucks,
Yeah.
trucks are very popular here. So, with garage spaces, I know that, most buyers are looking for either an oversized garage, half-size garages are very popular, or even just the extensions, just to be able to get a little bit more storage. And, I know me personally, I wish I had another half, garage, because that's where I keep my workout stuff. So yeah, garage space is very important here for sure.
How about you, Maury? Are you guys offer a lot of
same
plans
here.
with
We've got-
various?
We have a lot. Majority of our prospects add on to the garage. The majority of our homeowners add on to the garage, making it a third car or.
That was my question. Is it a third car or adding a tandem or
Yeah,
a RV?
Like Texas and Michigan and Minnesota, we love our trucks.
Oh yeah.
So they're big trucks, and the garage has to be bigger to have those trucks, and then for the storage. Yeah.
And the ATVs and all that stuff.
Mila, if the garage thing gathering in the garage, I wonder if that started with COVID, because people weren't going in other people's houses. So did they just kind of congregate in garages where they could have 6 feet space and they'd be outside?
I think it's more, it's happening more, but I've still for years have had friends that we go in their garage. It's called the black hole.
Okay.
So we go over to the black hole and play. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess
So-
maybe it's a Minnesota thing, but
I can't see whether it's Jesse or Jessica, but she says in Kentucky, we're always in the garage.
oh, awesome.
Now, the question is that, are we always in the garage because we're not allowed, like you don't want the Kevins in the house messing up things?
Maybe.
Or is it just because it's a large open space that everybody can party and have a good time? I'd be curious to know the answer from Jessica. It's just a great space to party. Like Mila said, perfect place to party, which we're going to get to that a little bit soon too. So let me ask you this. When you're talking about these changes to plans and, we're changing our marketing structure, we're making sure that we don't abandon the entertainment factor, what would you say your mix is of your potential buyers that are coming in that they do mention the fact that they entertain at home? How about you, Sarah? Do you want to start with that one?
Give me the one I don't have the answer for.
You don't have
I
an answer for that one?
I don't have a percentage, but I mean, it is definitely something that comes up, or at least is a question we're asking. So it is a question on our, like when we do structural reviews, we ask do you entertain at home? And so in our design and lifestyle questionnaires that they fill out, we ask the question up front so that we can help guide them with the solutions that they might need in their plan. Not everyone may think of it. Or maybe they're aspirational entertainers. That's me. I never have anyone over, but I have all the things for entertaining.
Aspirational entertainers. I love it. How about you, Maury? Do you have anything in the sales process once you get past the marketing phase of where you're looking at how to extract that information out of the buyer?
Yeah, kind of like what Sarah said, same type of thing. But most of our prospects now, keep in mind, we're building on your lot, so a lot of our homeowners or clients are coming in with family land. So an acre that grandpa gave them, 5 acres that's been passed down through the family. I think what we have heard the most is we have our family over for Christmas. We have our family over for Thanksgiving, and that family can be 20, 30 people. So, and they haven't been able to do that because of the pandemic. So what we heard was, I want a big kitchen. I want it wide open so the kids can be over here. My brothers and my husband can be over here watching the game, and we're all here. So that's what I think we hear.
And call me crazy, but that sounds a pinch more wholesome than
It is.
Hammerschlagen.
It is a bit more wholesome. Yes, it is.
It is. Now, let me ask you this. This is just a weird follow-up question, a weird one. This is one of Kevin's weird questions, the ones that just pop into my head.
I'm ready to toast.
Do you ever get the grandpas that just don't want any hedonistic activities going on in his land that he just left to his grandkids? You can build a house on this land, but do not have any of those Hammerschlagen parties.
Oh no, I think the grandpas encourage it.
They drink their soda pops.
Encourage it. Yes.
I will toast to that. Grandpa's encouraging hedonistic
I have
behavior.
a tidbit about toasting, Kevin. If you need filler, I've got where toasting came from.
We'll get to that one real soon.
Okay.
Mila, what else do we have?
What else? You mentioned having big families over for dinner or for holidays and things like that. One thing in my home, it's about 20 years old now, I have a formal dining room that just collects dust. It has a big table, and when I did have people over in the past, like nobody would sit in there, or the 1 or 2 people who would sit in there are so like excluded from the rest of the party and the family. Are people, I know you're talking about flex spaces earlier, but what are people doing with those spaces? Are they doing more of like a casual, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do with my room, but are they doing more of a casual seating environment, a game room? Are people wanting that formal space still?
Ingrid, can we start with you? Because I know that you guys over there at Century Complete, you're dealing with a lot more first-time buyers, and they might be younger buyers. Are they so concerned with that dining space?
No, and that's the thing, because if you think about it, a lot of people's lifestyle right now, they're on the go, right? Whether they're working from home or whatnot. So a lot of the meals happen like right at the kitchen countertop, right? Like you have a big kitchen island, and that's where a lot of the people congregate anyway. So the formal dining areas or even the casual dining areas tends to be, more flexible, usable space, whether they want it to be an additional office, if they only have one study, that's designated, or like a separate play area. So I think that the flexibility of having that particular space has opened up a lot more opportunities now.
Maurie, how about you over there?
I think what we have found is what we're seeing a lot is a lot of our plans included a dining room, and what our prospects have been doing is flipping that into, it's been close to the garage, so they've been flipping it into a large owner's entry laundry space with cabinets, laundry, a bench. And so that's where the kids come in. You're not all scrunched up. You've got plenty of room for the boots and the shoes and the coats we've been doing that a lot. And I think we put it on some of our interactive floor plans to show that space, flipping that. And families, the makeup of our families now love that.
Outhouse invented the interactive floor plan 20 years ago. Wayne Holmes is one of our longest customers, and I'd like to toast to Wayne Holmes using our interactive floor plans. So thank you.
Cheers.
All right, Joe Klusnick out of, I don't know where Joe Klusnick is out of. I apologize that I don't know which builder you're with, but our home theater is making a comeback. Sarah.
Okay. See, you keep giving me the hard question.
Well, I'm going to give you the hard one. I'll take up a little bit of time so you can think of your answer. I literally just did my home theater in my townhouse. My living room was converted into a movie mecca. Sarah?
Yeah.
How about you?
So we definitely are seeing it more in recreational rooms or like our downstairs basement areas here in Michigan. We have a lot of basements. So they're turning that area into home theaters. Here and there. I mean, we've definitely seen them where they finish the whole lower level and there's a lot of space when you do that. So they'll turn one area into maybe a home theater or the other area into maybe another sitting room with a fireplace. I've seen where it's like, you know, the third fireplace of the house. Just kind of depends. We also are seeing, to answer the dining room question, we actually just changed it on all of our floor plans to just call it a flex space because of exactly what Maurie was saying. They're just not using it all the same way. So we've seen it be a playroom. We've seen it be a workout space. We've seen it be a sitting room. I turned mine into a self-care space. So it's a little bit of everything. It's sitting and watching TV and workout all in one space. So yeah, you kind of... Go ahead.
You just got Angela McKay up at O'Neill all excited because she's like, oh my God, I could turn my dining room into a Peloton room. I guarantee you she's thinking that.
That's what I did. I got an elliptical and I wanted a futon to sit on afterwards and put a TV so you can be entertained during, and then I decorated it all. So it's my space.
A self-care space. I love that.
Self-care space is good. That is good.
I love that.
Coin to hear.
Outstanding. Coin to hear it now. Any of you builders that are on the attendance, you have to give Sarah Titus the credit for that space.
Love it.
Mila.
So I had some fun this week kind of playing around with your interactive floor plans. And I just went through, I'm like, I want to redesign my whole house now. If I had a map of my house that I live in and do that. How many of your buyers utilize your interactive floor plans before they come in? Or are you telling them about it and they're going in there and spending spend hours on this?
Before you answer this question, I know all the stats. So.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead, Sarah.
All of them. I mean, we use them in the field. So our sales agents will pull it up. It's the easiest way to explain an option. Yeah. And then also we're trying to integrate it even more with our new website, but really being able to show them this is the option we're talking about. So you can see the dollars that the sales agent is saying that option costs X number of dollars, seeing it on the floor plan and then seeing photos of it in our gallery at like all in the same breath. So I think it's really important, and it is surprising how many people have already decided on their plan before they even show up, fill out a form. They've been playing for a while.
We had, now known as Tri-Point Homes, but Mary Kay Homes has been another one of our long-standing clients using our IFP. Am I drinking too much? Am I slurring yet? No, I'm not. But Mary Kay Homes, and they actually have people that will bring in their printout of their personalized or customized plan, and they'll say like, this is the home that I want.
Oh yeah,
let's go ahead and do it. So what, Maurie, you've seen that at Wayne Homes?
Oh, absolutely. And we've even connected it to our favorites. So on our, they can save it and it goes into their favorites file, and then that gets emailed to one of our consultants. So they've got it. They can see if it's their prospect or if it's a new lead that hasn't been to see us before. And then I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but you even let us add a little button on ours that says request custom pricing.
Yeah.
And that was a game changer because we didn't include the pricing of all the different, and we were getting a lot of, I think now, especially with the pandemic, you have to be much more transparent on your website. You have to give information. You can't tease like you were able to years ago. So we would get, our prospects were frustrated because they couldn't get that information. So now all of our new home consultants and online sales consultants are armed with all the pricing. We provide that to them. So if someone calls, they can say, yep, that 6-foot ad there, that costs this. And what are you thinking about doing with that? And then they also can save it and hit that button, and an online consultant will set up an appointment with the salesperson to call them. And that's been fabulous.
So with Wayne Homes, you're a little bit different than the average builder that uses an interactive floor plan. So some builders will implement an IFP just to show the various ways you can set up their home.
Right.
In your case, you can actually not only take the IFP, what they've saved as far as options 1, 3, 5, and 7,
right,
but you can customize it further from that point forward, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We always, in fact, that's kind of a marketing conundrum that we have, is that leads think that is all they can do to the home. That just what is seen there, that's all I can do. And so we're always saying, this is just a few of our most common selections. This is what a lot of our customers do to the home, but there's many, many more. It's too many to list. We can't put them all on there.
Well,
So
actually, funny you say that, because Mila just the other day was asking me about customers, as far as follow-up utilizing the furniture planner. And Mila, what were you saying exactly?
Yeah, I was just wondering, after a buyer comes in and they say they want to move forward with it, do you encourage them do they use the interactive floor plan tool to arrange their furniture and kind of start kind of dreaming about, getting them excited about moving into the home that they've already signed and you're going to build for them, but now they can go in and customize, I'm going to put my bed here and 2 side tables and really kind of make it theirs and keep them excited through the process.
yeah, our design consultants encourage that when they set up the appointment to do colors and final selections. They're like, get on the interactive floor plan. You can do this, you can do this, you can pick different components. And yeah, then they come in with it. Print it out, they bring it in, or they email it to their salesperson. It's It's a no-brainer. It's in today's market, if you don't have it, you're not at the same levels as your competitor.
So with an interactive floor plan or any kind of pricing tool you would have on your, like, I know Envision has a way that you can show pricing as well. But with this, are there people that are out there, the builders, and most of the time it's usually smaller builders in smaller markets, but they're worried that somebody's going to copy their plan or they're going to know how much they're selling a product for. Is that even anything to worry about? Do your competitors, like Ingrid, do your competitors need to worry about whether you sell a house at $349,000 versus their home at $379,000?
No, I mean, I wouldn't think so, because ultimately at the end of the day, more often than not, we're probably using the same vendors and we have the same costs.
Right.
So we all know what the costs are, right? And it's just up to us as far as what we want to charge for retail, right? So, I think it's interesting, and I'm over here like just jealous of Maurie and Sarah of having interactive floor plans. So I'm one of the few that do not have interactive floor plans, but hey, that is on my wish list for 2022.
We've got a surprise for you on this webinar. We have a surprise for you.
Yeah. And our, for Century Complete, our sales process is radically different, where we operate actually out of sales hubs. So we don't typically have models in all of our communities, and all of our sales consultants sell out of our sales hubs, and they theoretically would sell in all of our communities. So it's so important. Obviously, I know and understand the value of having interactive floor plans for us to be able to show, our customers what these homes look like, especially if we don't have models, right?
So Julia Malosi came up with something really cool here. She says that her sales team uses them for all meetings, walk-ins, scheduled appointments, etc. And then the designers use them for design meetings. But the cool thing is that you can use your buyers can use it as a planogram to set all their furniture. Not all IFPs utilize their furniture to scale. Ours are guaranteed that they're going to be to scale, but I can tell you that some of our competitors are not to scale. So be careful with that, by the way. But you could utilize that as a planogram, so your potential buyers can literally hand over a floor plan and say, I don't just want the furniture brought into these rooms. I want it set right here. Set it up just like this. So yeah, no, it's a fantastic tool, Julia. Thank you for mentioning that.
Or if you're shopping at Target or Home Goods and you need a rug, you can actually pull up your plan and say, how big is this space? I forgot, because that's what I've done before.
Yeah.
Yep. How big is this room? I have no idea. I didn't measure ahead of time. I just need this rug.
All right. So we're going to come back to a couple more questions, but for now, we're going to go into a little fun phase. So get your fingers ready to answer some polls, because we have some door prizes that I mentioned at the beginning of this. When I mentioned this about these door prizes, they're not cheap. A bottle of Beaujolais, actually 3 bottles that will be given away, have to be paid for by somebody. So we have 5 floor plans that we're going to show you that Mila decorated some, I decorated some, and we're going to take votes on who did it best. Whoever did it worst, whoever gets the smallest number of votes, has to pay for all the floor plans. All right. Or all the door prizes. Excuse me.
Yeah.
All the floor plans. Maybe I have drank too much. I don't know. Maybe my boss might be on here telling me to slow down here a little bit. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna share my screen. And the first plan we're gonna look at is just our demo plan. And on our demo plan, we're gonna show Mila's. And Mila, I'll even give you the heads up and let you talk about why yours is better. So Mila, go ahead. Now, I noticed you have some passed out people in this one. Mila is on the right, Kevin is on the left. So remember, on all cases, I will be on the left, Mila is on the right.
Okay. So in my space, yeah, there's a couple of people. My favorite place to pass out. Well, I don't want to pass out, but yeah, sleeping in my bed. But there's some people hanging out here. There's one in the bathroom, it looks like, with a bottle of wine in her hand. But like I said, being in Minnesota, I love the outdoor space. So not only did I put furniture in my home, but I also have a lot of entertaining space outside. Of course, we have the hot tub and some seating area out there. And then we have a fire pit with a bunch of Adirondack chairs. Love the morning room, kitchen area, just really informal. And then living room with lots of seating. And of course, a pool table, which I actually have in my house here, just over here. All those things are just fun. And then in the garage, of course, you have to have your truck and your ATV. And then I have a little putting green in there too, just in front of the ATV. That's a little putting green that we can play with when the neighbors come over. So.
All right. You heard Mila's little sales pitch, but listen to this one. Over here on this side, I live with a gal, my girlfriend of 9 years, doesn't want me messing up things, let alone my guests. So we have one partier that's passed out in my den because I'm not going to put a pool table in my den. No way. Party's in the basement, y'all. So let's go down to that basement. Boom. We got shuffleboard. We got multiple big screen TVs. We got dartboards. We have a pool table, a poker table, a wraparound bar with multiple seating. We also have not only a jacuzzi, and to keep my very, very appreciated guests from getting Legionnaire's disease, I glass enclose this. So, Jim, if you could bring up our poll, who did it best?
Oh my.
Voting starts now. Get your votes in. Is it Kevin on the left or Mila on the right? Who did it best? In 3, 2, 1. All right, what's the results there, Jim? Who did it best? Mila, I got a party place. Nobody's messing up your home. Oh, that's not right. All right.
I'll drink to that.
Oh.
Now we're going to go to an Eastbrook home. I'll go ahead and start on this one, Mila, since you started the last one. Again, it's Michigan. Michigan summers are fantastic. Michigan autumns are awesome. Keep the pool heated. And yes, this is a repurposed coffee table that was blown up to the size of a swimming pool. And I used a bookshelf for a diving board. Doesn't matter.
You copied me
what I
on a
use.
different floor plan.
All I know is that this is some solid outdoor living. Not only do I have a place where the magic happens, because after you've drank a few, you got to have some magic. You know what I'm saying? But on top of that, I've got this Michigan sunroom where I can do my Peloton. So I can invite Angela and her Peloton friends to come over and cycle while we're out drinking and boozing it up. I got a jacuzzi out here, and notice a couple of plants for a little bit of privacy and a barbecue outside. What say you, Mila?
Well, in my plan, I have lots of cars in the garage, of course, and then a golf cart, because you have to have a golf cart around here to go to the neighbor's house and hang out, and then a couple ATVs. And then in the back, in that little bonus area in the garage, is where I have my pool table. And you can't see it, but over the top of the pool table is a ping pong tabletop where you can play ping pong. And I have a robotic ping pong machine that goes on the end of it. You can't see that, but it's there.
Wow.
And then, of course, the indoor, lots of living space and cozy space in the living room. I have the kitchen with the informal space I have a farmhouse table with benches, because that's great for family and friends when we come over. The Michigan sunroom, just a place to chill out, drink some wine. And then, of course, on the patio, I've got a bar with a sink out there, eating space, and of course a hot tub, because I always have to have a hot tub, and a outdoor patio out there too. And of course, a lot of plants for privacy.
I just want to point out before anybody votes that I've got a Snap-on toolbox to scale in my garage. Snap-on, not that generic Harbor Freight junk. Snap-on, and a pool. You can go dippity-doo after you worked on this golf cart out here. All right, voting. Jim, bring it up. Who did it better? Kevin on the left, Mila on the right. Who did it better? In 10, 9, 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Who won? Who got it? Dang it!
Yes.
Is it just because she's better looking? Look at these sideburns, people. Look at these sideburns. I had a freaking pool out there. Come on now.
You can't have a pool in that community, Kevin.
This community doesn't allow it? Oh, okay.
I do appreciate that Mila found your space room. We don't have a garage or a basement space, so it's a good idea there for your garage parties.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start because I feel like I'm at a disadvantage here. Again, I put plants in here because I want some nice, greenery in my home. Notice there's no TV here because I want people to have their own place to have TV. But notice that also when you're here for the party, business happens in the office, dining happens in the dining room. I want my guests to come upstairs. So I have this special server station with a paid wine server that is going to serve you your wine as you walk up my grand staircase in this Century Communities home. Century, in this case, the Century Complete. But this is actually Century Communities plan. They're going to go upstairs and ready for this? Boom. If you're going to stop by my party and you're going to drink my wine, damn straight, you're going to listen to my kid's 7-year-old piano recital. So guess what? This is where the party's happening. All right, Mila, what say you?
Wow, that's a hard one to beat.
How are you going to compete with a 7-year-old piano recital? Everybody loves that sound. Go ahead.
All right. Well, you can see in my garage, I'll start in the garage for me. I've got my SUV, and then I've got my jet ski because of course it's Minnesota, land of 10,000 lakes. Couple motorcycles, his and hers out there. And then again, I love this garage because it has that extra storage area where I've put a couch and a bar table with 4 stools. I've got a wet bar out there, and of course a TV, because when you want to watch the football games on Sunday, this is where we'll be. The front porch, I've got the little fire pit out there, so really welcoming. Anyone can come on over. We've got our little dining area. Again, it's off to the left. I'm not really a big formal dining room person, so this is kind of a game area, reading nook. Let's see, what else do I got? I have the baby grand piano in the living room, so that's going to be my focal point. And then, of course, the deck. I've got a bunch of Adirondack chairs to enjoy the beautiful view. And then out back, you can see I've got a patio with a fire pit, and you see that kind of ATV that's kind of wonky, and the golf cart. Those are my neighbors that have come over to hang out. That's why they're kind of parked that way. And then upstairs, we got the game room with the wet bar, some more entertaining space, and plenty of bedrooms for people to hang out when they're ready.
Obviously, you came to play because that blew away my 7-year-old piano recital. Both my kids are in college, by the way, but when they were 7 and you had to listen to just the screechy violin and just those horrible sounds that they make on musical instruments, it's not fun. But all right, Jim, bring up the votes. Bring it up. Kevin's on the left, Mila's on the right. In 10, sounds like it's time for me to drink. 7, 3, 2, 1. Jim, give us some results. What do we got? Oh, yes. 73%. Come on. Come on, people. I had a pool in one of mine. I had a 7-year-old piano recital. That poor little angel's going to have her spirit crushed. Crushed, mind you. Granted, she's fictitious, but that doesn't matter. Let's just go ahead and go to the next plan. Now we're on to Wayne Holmes. Wayne Holmes. Now, this is a little bit different. This plan right here it does have a second floor. However, I didn't decorate the second floor with any kind of party, and it's just for living. I got my office up here, little master suite or a little secondary master suite up here. But what it really comes down to is I want to make sure that because I'm limited on my space and I have smaller, more intimate parties with just a couple of my, wine drinking or sometimes beer drinking, sometimes pot smoking friends. I want to just have like a little area. So we have this sunroom where the pool table, and we have this flex room over here that instead of using it as like an entertainment space, we use it as the entertainment space. I've got a bar over here with stools. I've got a blender and a mixer. I didn't see any blenders or mixers on yours, Mila. Anyway, so I've got all that. So I'm ready to rock and roll. You can't see the in-wall fridge that I've got in here, but I've got an in-wall wine fridge too. I'm just trying to upsell it because she's kicking my ass right now.
You're just making stuff up now.
I am making stuff up. And then, of course, a little table just for chilling when you don't want to sit at the bar. And then, of course, I too put a piano in the living room for that entertainment. And I hired a professional pianist. Mila, what say you?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one to beat. But look at my front porch, how inviting that is, with 4 chairs, fire pit, privacy, and then head out to the garage and we can use the ATVs, go out back in the woods, and or take the cycles out. Let's see, I have my tandem room. I put a bar and a bunch of chairs out there, and then you'll notice again I have a hot tub because it's Minnesota, you have to have a hot tub. And then I have a TV out there too. So this is an outdoor TV. So when you're chilling in the hot tub, drinking your glass of wine, you can watch TV. And look at my living room. I've got a double sectional. It's huge. We can have lots of parties there, lots of people over. The kitchen, tons of bar stools, big dining room area.
All right. Jim, put up the vote.
There you
Put it
go.
up there. Kevin's on the left, Mila's on the right. Go ahead. What do you got? The awesome lady cave or the baby grand? Kevin on the left, Mila on the right. In 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Results, Jim. What do we got? People, seriously, it's gone up. It's 82% Mila. Come on now.
You guys are welcome over anytime.
You guys are starting to hurt my feelings. You're starting to hurt my feelings. All right, now we're to the blue tangerine plan. Now she has a leg up. So if she wins this one, I'm not going to be real happy about this. All right.
First one I did.
First off, I made this nice private hedge line area. They look like plants, but that's just because that's the plant that we had in the IFP. I have this hedge line area. Now, we also have a jacuzzi out here with steps, mind you. No TV, just a fireplace and a gentle grand piano. And that's high quality grand. That's not just a Yamaha. That's straight up. I can't even remember the name. It's a Yamaha. We'll just call it Yamaha. Anyway, so I still have my office. I've got my bedroom. So any of my drunken guests can come over here and just crash out on my day bed. They want to watch a movie. If they wake up in the middle of the night because they can't sleep because of alcohol insomnia, no problem. I've got tons of bar stools out here around the island and the large kitchen island. But better than that, we've got the Hammerschlagen zone here. Now we don't have a Hammerschlagen area, but we have pool. We've got a Craftsman toolbox. We've got a wraparound bar with a mixer and a blender. And when you have a garage this big old hobby garage, you got plenty of room for motorcycle parking. Because I'm pretty much sure that if you have this floor plan, you got a lot of motorcycles and a lot of pickups coming to this party. So you better have a ginormous garage for that party to happen. That's what I got. Mila, what do you got?
All right. Well, welcome to my garage. I do have a Hammerschlagen table. You can see that little round dot right above the 3-car garage. Yep, that's where it is. And then a pool table too. I've got the fan in the back. I didn't see the extended hobby garage. That's cool. But I have my jet skis out back, a pair of those to take to the lake. I've got a hot tub outside. I've got a pool with a bunch of lounge chairs around it.
For the record, before you cast your votes, that is not a pool. That is a rug that's been resized. That is not a pool.
Well,
and apparently she used a treadmill
option.
as a diving board. You can't dive off a treadmill. And if you do dive, you're going to hurt yourself diving into a carpet. That is a carpet. That is an area rug. Just for the record. Go ahead, Mila.
That's all I got. I mean, it's a great house. Big
Bring
area. Let's see who
and
wins.
Carol Morgan, who's with us today, said that she loves the fact that and go ahead, the voting starts. Kevin's on the left, Mila's on the right. Carol Morgan said that she loved to have the blender and the mixer shown where they belong on the plan. Very important, mind you. I feel this one. I feel a Kevin win here. I don't feel that Mila's going to get a sweep on this one. It's not going to happen. Jim, what are the results?
Oh,
Yes, I might have just sold it
Hold
because
ahead.
nobody wants to dive into an area rug. Regardless, it looks like I am on the hook for paying for today's door prizes. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen, number one, and thank everybody for being here today. And let's go ahead and just jump right into door prizes. And while we're talking about door prizes, let's go with Maurie. Maurie has a couple of factoids for us. You mentioned the history of the toast. What is the history of the toast? Oh, you're muted.
In the early Greek Empire, they would take pieces of bread and throw it in their wine, and they would yell toast, and that would mean the servants would put the bread in the wine to take the bitter taste out of the wine, and that's what toast means.
Well, that's because they weren't drinking Sauvignon Blanc. What's the other one? You had another one there. What was the other factoid?
Yes. I shared this with my team at our grand opening prep today. So and some of them are still on the call here. You need 7 glasses of orange juice or 20 glasses of apple juice to get the same amount of antioxidants that you get in a glass of wine.
In a single glass?
Single glass.
Well, you're going to need about 400 bottles of orange juice then to equal the amount that I drink in a bottle of wine.
You are so antioxidant full.
I am so antioxidant right now. Those oxidants, nobody wants them. Who needs them? So any closing comments there, ladies? I didn't realize this were all ladies except for me. I'm the one oddball. We should have had another female co-host. Then we could have been all ladies. Anything, Ingrid, what do you got? Any rules?
Well,
do you have any rules of buying, or what do you got there?
Okay, so I don't know if this is true, but I feel like I've heard it multiple times. Like when you're going out to dinner and you're at a restaurant, and you don't know how to pick your wine. Like I feel like I've heard, okay, don't pick the least expensive. Don't even pick the second most expensive or second least expensive because that's the one that they have the highest margin on or whatever. And I'm like, but then I'm looking at it and I'm like, I still don't know, right? So you're saying it's the third. So then I end up just going, okay, well, maybe I'll just go with the cheapest. But I know how you feel about going with the house, either red or the white. So,
Don't go there.
So, right. So with that, I just suck up my ego and I ask for help. I'm like, hey, tell me what the good wine is. So that's my tip.
Sarah, do you have any helpful tips for the novice or the noob, if you will, wine drinker?
I think the anecdote I gave earlier, as far as pairing it with food, is a great way to actually start learning wine if you don't know wine very well. So depending on what restaurant you're at, you can always ask for a recommendation of what they recommend with that food. That usually, I mean, depending on the restaurant, maybe they had somebody who knows wine recommend that wine for that food. So I do recommend, if you're a novice, asking a professional, a sommelier if you have to, but lots of people know wine. They don't have to be a sommelier to know wine. So asking them their recommendation and then just try to take that bite of food, take a sip of wine, take a bite of food, take a sip of wine, and let those flavors melt, because that is how you eventually start noticing the flavors.
So sommelier.
I feel like I need.
Go ahead, Ingrid.
I feel like I need Sarah on speed dial now, so that way when I'm out, I'll be
Sarah's
like,
a wealth of knowledge when it comes to wine. I'll tell you what, and marketing for that matter. So a sommelier is what a restaurant would put in place, or a fine dining establishment would put in place, that would recommend wines, that would come out and tell you the differences between wine A, B, or C. I used to think it was a bunch of bullcrap. However, I've met some sommeliers that can blindfolded tell you the difference of what wine is in what bottle across the board, wine after wine after wine. and it is pretty incredible. So there is something to people that
Sure.
are certified sommeliers, not just somebody that just has that job title at a restaurant.
Correct.
Maury,
Yes.
do you have
Not hating on sommeliers, more that lots of people also know wine. So it
Yeah.
is.
True.
Yeah, you don't have to ask a sommelier.
You don't
They
have to.
are valid people, though.
Very
They have
valid,
valid
yes.
careers.
Maury, do you have any rules for wine shopping or any kind of advice for going to a restaurant?
The only rule I had was years ago, I thought I had to buy a wine with a cork, and I could not buy a wine with a twist cap. I thought that was Kevin, can you let me finish my thought before you?
I'm letting you finish. I'm just holding it up there so that people can see that I'm using a screw cap.
So then I talked to a person that knew wine, not a sommelier, but a person that knew wine, and they said, no, that's not true anymore. And this was several years ago. And then I spoke to a sommelier at a restaurant, at a really nice restaurant. I'm not sure where. And they said, no, there are just as good. Some are even better because it seals the flavor into the oxygen that can damage a white wine. And it was very interesting. So don't be afraid to buy the twist off.
Very true, Maury. There's actually a lot of evidence to that. So a cork, you have to keep it tilted to keep the cork wet. Otherwise it'll dry up and all the wine is spoiled. So a lot of them go plastic nowadays. But my tidbit, because I'm from wine and events. So my tidbit, when you are planning an event that will have wine, only buy screw tops. Why would you have to open every single wine? Something I've been doing events for years. And so that's on my checklist when you're planning a grand opening or any sort of like customer event, only buy the screw tops. You never have a wine opener. It's always the thing. People are like, do you have a wine opener? Do you have a wine opener? Nobody ever has one. Except for me.
Sarah, I do. I carry it in my glove compartment.
I do too. I just went to an event as an attendee and the bar people were like, nobody has a wine opener. I like pulled it out of my purse. I was like, here you go. You can keep that one.
You'll find a lot of grocery stores and wine shops store their wine like this because they have a very fast turnover. However, once you get home, store your wine, especially if it has a cork, or if it has a cork, only if it has a cork, you want to store it on its side because you want to keep that cork wet. If it dries out, number one, it can taint the alcohol. It can change the flavor of it. It can change the overall, even the bouquet of the wine can radically change by not having your wine stored properly. My two rules, I've got two. I've got my 3 rules of how to buy wine. 1, I will not buy any wine, and you should write this down. If you got a pen handy, write this down. I will not buy any wine that is sold in the gas station. If it is sold, we have Circle K's out here. If it is sold in the Circle K, it's off the list. That's number 1. Forever. Forever. You sell accidentally to a garage locate or to a gas station, you're out. You're off my purchase list. Number 2, foil wrappers. If you put metallic or foil on your wrapper, I know it sounds stupid, but I found that those wines tend to be the weakest wines. It's the same thing as putting booth bait in a trade show booth. If you need to have some good-looking half-naked woman standing in your booth to accentuate your product is garbage. Okay, that's number 2. Rule number 3: I will not spend more than $50 for a bottle of wine. It is fundamentally fermentation of a grape. I don't know why one bottle can be $300, $400, $500 versus a $20 bottle of wine. So my $50, and I know Sarah's probably got, so Sarah, okay.
I agree. So I agree with you. My funny anecdote is, so I worked at, I don't know if I actually mentioned it. I worked at Ciccone Vineyard and Winery here in Michigan, which leads to my rule, which is drink local. So find local wineries, specifically if a state grown grapes. So I do try to find wine that is grown estate or bottled estate, which means that it's all done through the same winery. They're not buying grapes from other places or shipping. Not that it's a problem, but I try to support those organizations because I work for one. But my boss, Tony Ciccone, he learned Italian winemaking from his dad. He's been doing wine forever. And when I started there, all of our wines were under $20 because he truly did not believe in charging more than $20 for a bottle of wine. And it took years to convince him that we had bottles of wine that would sell out the same day he made them because they were really in a varietal from Italy that no one else here grows. So they would sell out in one day. And so it's like, in those cases, we have to charge more because they're a collector's item. But most of the wines are still at like $25. He won't go up to 50, except for a Dolcetto. It's the only one that's 50, but still to this day, that's what he believes, and he loves wine. So I agree with
I
you.
wholeheartedly agree. I think he's
$450.
100% right.
Yeah.
So for any of our noobs out there, I get intimidated when I look at menus when I go to a restaurant, but you want to drink wine or you want to treat your party to wine. I'm going to give you 2 simple rules to follow whenever you go into an organization, a restaurant, a dining establishment. Rule number 1 is if the menu only has red or white as your choice, order beer, because red and white is not the right answer for what kind of wine to order. That is swill. That is, you might as well be drinking out of their bar back traps. It's that bad. Okay. So if it's red or white, your only option, order the beer. Number 2, if you go into a place that has a glassed in room that has this fancy wall of wine, or they bring you a book to order wine out of, and that's very intimidating. I'll be the first to admit it's extremely intimidating. I have 2 rules. Rule number 1, Napa. Rule number 2, Beaujolais. If you're in a really fancy place, you order any Beaujolais. Beaujolais doesn't have to be expensive, but Beaujolais is just a region in France where they grow wine, and you can never go wrong with anything from Napa or Beaujolais. If you order from one of those 2 regions, France or California for that matter, you can't go wrong. It won't be a disappointing wine. It might not be the right wine for the occasion or for the pairing that you want to match up with, but you will not order some wine that somebody's going to go, this is horrible. All right. That's my rules. Ingrid, do you have anything else for us?
No, I don't have any rules. I mean, apparently I can't, although I do have to say, I would argue the gas station wine. Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's when you've been here to Texas? Buc-ee's is like this gas station that's like massive. It's like as big as Walmart or whatever. But I'm telling you, they carry good wine there.
All right, I'll give it to you. Buc-ee's has 500 types of beef jerky, but if there's wine being sold there, you just made my list of no go. You just made it.
So I have one real quick one, if I can.
Mila, please. And then we'll
so I was in wine club for many years with my girlfriends, and you try 7 wines every night, and there's thousands and thousands, and I don't know how many thousands of wines there are. I just can't remember all of them. So what I did is I downloaded the Vivino app. If you have seen that, yep. And you can look up wines. You can take a picture of the label. It'll bring everything up. You can rate it yourself and put your own notes in. So later on you go, oh yeah, I really love that one, or that one was awful. So when you're at the liquor store looking at what wine should I get, or at the restaurant, you can look it up and see if it's something that you might like. You can friend people in the app. So if Kevin and I had the same kind of taste, I could look up to see what he's drinking and how he's rated wines. Well, I'm going to try that one because he likes it, so I'll probably like it too. So that's been a lifesaver for me when I'm indecisive about what I should be getting.
So if you were looking at relocating to either Eastern Michigan, Ohio and surrounding areas,
Western,
or any place that Century Complete serves, Texas and the surrounding areas, you want to reach out to one of these ladies. However, if you were looking for website, SEO, pay-per-click, any of those kind of services, reach out to Mila over there at Outhouse, or over there at Blue Tangerine. I have been drinking too much. It's time for a toast. I mean,
cheers.
And if you're looking for any kind of digital content for your website, contact me. I'm Kevin Weitzel or Jake Hernandez at Outhouse. We'd love to have you there. So let's go ahead and get to some door prizes. We are giving away 3 bottles of highly rated, 91 points, by the way, by wine rating experts everywhere. We're going to be giving away 3 bottles of Beaujolais out of France. We were going to go local, but we found out that it was going to be a big. I also found out that it's going to be very difficult. Oh, the app is called Vivino, Vivino. I also found out that it's illegal to ship wine. So we'll be shipping you your bottles of cooking oil, olive oil. All right. So anybody throws me under the bus and turns me into the United States Postal Service, I'm going to be really, really angry with you. However, Beaujolais, I'm not going to cover up the label. The first person that can put in the chat box the word Beaujolais, spelled hopefully properly, will win this. Beaugu. Susan Paul of Costa Verde Homes, right here in Arizona. You got the first bottle. The second bottle, that was really fast, by Jennifer. She beat you. Sorry.
Jen, come on.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Susan. I apologize.
Oh, Michael Rupture.
Michael actually beat you in. I just looked down and saw Susan. So Michael of, I believe, H&H or HH Hunt, one of the two, actually had it spelled properly. Our next one, our second bottle. So Michael wins the first one. Jim, please write that down. We'll be shipping this off to you with a custom made wine glass made out of a wine bottle. Hello.
Oh,
Anyway, so the second door prize, which is another bottle of Beaujolais, will be going out to the person that puts it in the chat, spelled properly, Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc. Whoever can spell it properly.
Come on, Jen. Come on, Jen.
No, Blanc, Sauvignon. Oh, Carol Morgan. Sauvignon Blanc. Carol Morgan wins. Carol Morgan of Denim Marketing.
Oh, Katie. Katie, you put a U in. There's no
Katie
U.
messed it up. Katie Krupa lost. So Carol Morgan wins our second bottle. So that's Michael Repsher for the first bottle. Susan, or I'm sorry, not Susan. But who was the second one? Oh, Carol Morgan. Carol Morgan of Denim Marketing. All right. The third bottle of Beaujolais and a custom made, and these are made right here in Arizona, by the way. They're making them all over the place. You can find them in craft.
kind of like you're drinking a half bottle of wine when you.
It's pretty cool, but it's how redneck. You know, you see people drinking out of mason jars.
Oh,
But how redneck is it to drink out of a half-cut bottle? Oh, a beautiful wine runner.
Yeah.
All right, so the third one, you ready for this? And I'm sorry, but Michael and Carol, you're excluded. You can't be involved in this one.
Katie and Jen.
Is
Katie and Jen.
Gewürztraminer.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. That one's impossible to spell.
No, it's not. That is so easy. You can
Is it easy? All right, let's see if
You
someone
got
comes up with it.
Come on, you guys got it.
And Carol drinks from mason jars. I guarantee it, you do. You're down in Georgia, right? Or North Florida, South Georgia, somewhere around there. Come on, Gewürztraminer. Anybody?
Is a very delicious wine. I very much recommend.
Gewürztraminer. If it's on the menu, this guy's getting it.
everyone's Googling it right now.
They're all Googling
Yeah.
it right now. North
Yeah.
Georgia for Carol.
Who's-
Gewürztraminer. Susan Paul out of Costa Verde Homes right here in Arizona. So, Susan
Jen
Paul,
and
I'm actually going to
Katie.
hand deliver yours, so I don't have to ship it because it's illegal to ship this apparently. But there we go. So we got our three winners. Thank you everybody for joining us today. Thank you to Sarah Titus of Eastbrook Homes, Maurie Jones
you.
of Wayne Homes out of Ohio, and Ingrid Prince out of Century Complete. Ladies, we really appreciate you being here today. And Mila, of course, thank you for being my co-host, my compadre, my fellow wino, my fellow drunk. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us, Kevin. I'm glad that we did this
Thank you.
and came up with the idea on the fly. I'm glad you did
Absolutely.
I was afraid to say yes, and I'm glad I did.
Sounds good.
it. I'm glad two other people agreed to do this with me and it wasn't just Kevin and I drinking.
Yes, we could have just got sloshed. Watch episode 2 will be Kevin and Sarah getting sloshed.
Talking about wine. That's all it'll be.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you being here. Have a fantastic weekend and keep selling some
everyone.
homes.